Guys, I'm gonna have the side control and who's on board has the underhook. But he has underhook, but he's still on his back. But he has a very high underhook. His underhook is already like the far he can go without he starts to get on his side. So he's flat, but he has a very deep underhook. If I move first, I can easily like swing this hand on front of his hip. If I move first, you know. If you wait for me, I can go over there and just kind of like, now I have a side control, now I have a north-south position, so I don't think he's gonna be able to use the underhook like properly. You know? But because he has the underhook before me, I think he can move before me. I don't think I can be faster than him. I think if I go there, he already is gonna bump. Go bump. And then like I'll end up losing. So if he has the underhook, probably he's already ahead of me. But if you wait, I can move before him. If he like come back, what's up? If I have the side control, if I get on the hook, okay, I move before him. As soon as he's getting on the hook, I already prevent that. But he already have done the hook, like I know he's getting out. I know he's like bump, bump. I know he's about to come out. So if he's about to come out, go slow. I cannot just turn away from here, just move out of the position because he's just gonna keep chase me. He's just gonna be like behind me, and I don't want to have someone on my back. If I move like towards his leg, I'm gonna have to start to deal with his guard. If he start bumping and stuff, I'm gonna end up on his guard. So I have only one path to go, and my path is just go to the other side. Try catching on the other side. He's already like defending on the side. All his defend and his attack is already like probably towards the side, and the other side is coming up open. Open, I mean like his backside getting exposed. His guard is not turning that way, you know what I mean? When he turns, his guard, like once I get over here, his guard is not on this side, so his guard was all the way to the other side. Obviously, like if I take too long, soon he'll recover, but I have a chance to get that before him. But I don't have no much control because it's no gi, it's fast, it's about speed now. He's gonna move, I have to move together, you know? So he has his underhook. As soon as he goes, he wants to get to my leg. That leg has to be far away. Far away. Can you turn around, please? So if he has his underhook, that leg has to be far. Instead of have this knee close, I'll keep this leg far. And as long like he has the hand on my leg, he'll feel like he can get to my leg. He'll feel like he has the position. But that doesn't matter now because who's on board is gonna go to your leg no matter what. But if it was a real scenario, if he has his hand over here, he feel he can go to your back. But as soon as he try go to my leg, I'll take the leg out because he doesn't really have that control. He doesn't really have like this hooking over here. So before, if he has this hand over here, I feel like this that I can free myself. So I let him go. But once he's about to like get more control, I'll kick that out and I'll make sure he's back, right? So let's work on this. Who's on board? Go to the leg. Who's on board already have the underhook? He's about to come out. So who's on board? Go to the leg. And who's on top? Avoid the leg as much as you can. But wait till the other person go to your leg. Wait till once he goes to your leg, you run before him. As soon as he goes to my leg, I start running. But who's on board? Go to the leg. And who's on top? Run faster because there's no gi. So he can slip quicker. You have no more grip. So who's on top? Run quick. As soon as he goes to your leg, run quick. And we gotta make sure he's back. And make sure he's back. Once you get over here, guys, I can fall with my hook. Or if he start rolling, if he decide he can roll, I'll continue roll with him. When I say I continue roll, it's like this. When I say I continue roll, it's like this. When I say I continue roll, is I can fall to my side, but I don't want to fall to the other side. What I mean fall to the other side is it's like fall underneath. What I'm trying to say, I want to continue roll. If he start roll, I continue roll all the way to the other side. I don't want to just jump on the other side and fall to that side. If I go on that side, I need to continue roll. So you can fall on your side, or you can continue roll towards the other side, but continue roll. So who's on board, guys, is in charge. All you have to do, you have this on the hook, go to the leg, that's the only option. And go fast, and who's on top has to suck around. So give each other the situation. Guys, every time you have a side control, sometimes you have a problem. Every time you have a side control, not all the time you're gonna have a problem. Sometimes you have a problem that the person finds his way out. And sometimes when he finds his way out, you cannot really stop him. Sometimes if you just keep stopping him, make you just lose everything. So the whole point is like, I wanna get control, I wanna hold him. I cannot just pin him because like I'm gonna be like penalized in a tournament if I just kind of try to. In the training, the same thing. I don't want to just hold him. I want to figure out. I want to learn. I want to move forward. So the whole point is like when I start moving, I start to kind of like look for something. Maybe he's gonna frame first. Maybe he's gonna frame against my neck, please. Maybe he's gonna frame, find the underhook, and then I'm gonna have to react. So once he finds the underhook, I know he's about to get it out. I know he's finding his way out, so I have to do something. If I just fight to hold him down, maybe I can really fight to hold him down, but sometimes it's gonna just take a lot more energy. So I have to understand that he's gonna move out. He's gonna kind of go to the next move. And as soon as he do this, as soon as he start getting the hook, I tuck in my elbow. I just don't leave my elbow exposed. I just don't open my armpit. That's right again, Jimmy. So he goes, he start framing, he start getting the hook. I'm just tuck my elbow. And once I tuck my elbow, drop your light, please. Once I tuck my elbow, I want to try, keep trying. I want to try keep his arm the most low possible. I don't want to let his arm with a lot of reach. I don't want to let his arm like go too high. So let's try again, please. So he goes there. I didn't have the underhook. I cannot keep the underhook. As he tries to try escape, he tries to go to my leg. I'm just like stuff his leg. This is the leg that he wants. If he goes to the leg, he's going to be in trouble. So if this is the leg that he wants, I put a lot of weight, keep the leg a little bit far away. And then when he feels like he wants to go to my leg, I'm just got my knee right behind his leg, his arm. As I have my knee behind his arm, I know his arm is like it's most like stuck. Even if he grabs his leg, he's stuck in the crucifix. Even if he grabs the other leg, he's still stuck in the crucifix. As long as his arm doesn't go around outside. Let's do it again, please. Let's go for the side. So he goes there, he starts getting the hook. I stuff his elbow, keep going to my leg, and put a lot of weight, and then I'm going to move my knee right behind. Now I make sure like I have a control and I'm not losing position. So the whole point is like if you cannot hold this side control, he can move out as long as like you get a better control. As long as you move to like another place that you still can hold him. So from here I can get a seat belt, I can crucifix, I can put on my side, put the hooks, and then he still anytime look for the finish, right? But I want you guys to have options, and that's the whole point. If I get over here, I want to hold him, he starts to find his way out, and then he bumped too quick. I couldn't really like stop his arm in time, and then he ended up with his knees, and now I'm almost like a sprawl. I have to find my way back over there. If I just stay over here, stand up. I have to get out of there because maybe it's gonna take me down. So if that's the point, I just lost all the control. So I need to have option. And the option is like if you rush to get on my side, I want to stuff his elbow, pop in this. I have get a hold of his arm. When I say get a hold of his arm, that's the only arm that stops me, that goes to my leg, that doesn't let me stay on that side control. So from that side, I'm gonna tuck in his elbow. I like to kind of like elbows together. You can do a gable grip, you can do a seatbelt grip. I like just kind of squeeze my elbow together, make sure his arm like, he's not really like a swing around. So make sure his arm is always like tuck in. And once I get this hook, knee behind, one more time, and I'm back to what we were doing before. I can seat belt, I can crucifix. If you give our option, I go straight to the choke. I don't have to do much, but I want you guys to have an option once the other person is moving out, especially if you're gonna go compete. I'm hoping you guys score a point. So if you score a point, if you get a side control, you cannot just pin the other person. He's gonna move out, he's gonna try to get out. If you just try hold him, maybe you're gonna end up losing the position or spend too much energy. Sometimes let him out, but let him out in a way that like you still can control him even in a better place. So who's on the border, guys? He's gonna frame, and the guy's gonna tuck his elbow in. and then you're gonna put your elbow behind, and then you get the control that you're looking for. If he rush, he gets in the hook and he pops on his knees. I sprawl, head lock position, squeeze everything tight. Don't let this arm kind of go to your leg. Keep his arm like a very tucked in. This leg is the one that's gonna go behind his arm. And once I get behind, it's time to release. And I have most like the control, and he doesn't really have the control of my leg. I'm on his back, and I'm gonna have like a more control again. Let's go try, guys. Guys, I just want you guys to do a little bit now. You guys probably will be able to understand better like what I was trying to say. So, for example, I don't want to give him the hook, but he got on the hook. But it's not because he got on the hook that he's going to have a very good on the hook. So I'm not giving him a very good on the hook. I'm trying not to. So he framed me on the hook, and I start tucking my elbow. So I don't want to open up. So I'm just going to like tuck my elbow. And as I'm tucking my elbow, I'll put a lot of weight over there. So the weight has to be towards the arm that's trying to get a hold of you. Stay strong, Jimmy. Go to my leg. Stay here, but just go to my leg. So this arm is going to my leg, so I'm going to put a lot of weight over there. So the way that I feel I'm going to put the weight is like I have to still hide this leg. I cannot put all the weight over here and then leave my leg over there. So I'm putting all the weight like with my forearm, with my chest. It's most like I'm just leaning towards the side, just so the arm doesn't really have much like a hold. And then as he keep it turning, I'm just get my knee right behind. Once I get his arm drop and his arm is not reaching my leg, I pull him and I get my knee right behind, and then we back to that control. So let's try isolating the arm like very low and don't let the arm kind of come out too much. Once you get his arm down, you can pull him because you're gonna be able to get your knee behind. But try like to find like how you can get the most out of your weight on the arm. So he get the hook. All the weight is not on his head, it's most like on his arm. And as he keep moving, I can now like get my knee behind his elbow. I can pull, and he doesn't really like have any control. But obviously, if you get to the point that I couldn't stop it and he goes to my leg, I headlock him, sprawl, and circle around towards the side that you have the back. Let's make sure everybody's practicing first towards the side that you have a good seatbelt, because we're going to switch after. So make sure now you guys do it towards the side that you like to stay there. If your seatbelt is on the other side, we're going to have to do something else. But now let's make sure like you practice first the side that you want to. I think everybody was much better like figure out what you're doing, because you have to figure out not just how to do the move, but make the move like the strongest possible, as much as you can, like with the options that you have. Everybody was able to just use more your weight and not just use your strength instead of just hold, because sometimes you cannot hold the other person. But he's moving, he's in a momentum. So if you can use your weight without spending much energy, that would be the best out of it. As I told you, like his move on, I'm not holding. I can't hold him. Maybe it was an option. I cannot hold him, and he's getting out. But maybe he's getting out towards the other side. The other side that I don't have a good seatbelt. I don't have a back control over there. And why? Because we have too many options. When I say too many options, like you don't have to do the same move for both sides. And sometimes, even if you do, sometimes one side is a lot better than the other. So why you want to have like I can do both sides, but this side is just not great. Or maybe you can do both sides, but then you end up kind of two even sides, not like a very good side, you know what I mean? So you can just kind of like think about what you like most. But it's okay to have the same move good for both sides. But if you can have great, you know what I mean? I prefer that, you know. But if the other person is on the other side and Jiu-Jitsu has so many options, you don't have to do the same thing. You don't have to just do the same thing one side, the same thing the other side. So you want to have an option. As long as you have options, it's fine. You have option on one side, you have option on the other side. And the same way with the guard pass. You pass the guy's guard one side, you have a good seatbelt. You pass the guard on the other side, you have to know what to do from there if you cannot hold the other person. So he's getting out. Other side. That's the side. I was looking to hold him. He's getting out. He's getting out. Now I'm not fighting against the arm. I'm just like not trying like isolate the arm. I'll try slow the arm down. I'll try put as much weight as I can. I'm not gonna make it easier for him. But because that's not my good side, I'm not stay him. I'm not spending much time over here. I'm just trying to slow him down. I'm gonna try to slow him down. I'm trying to slow him down because I wanna make sure I make to the other side before him. And the reason why I believe I can make to the other side before him because I'm on my feet. He's on his back. You still have to work hard other way to turn around. So you can make to the other side before him. I'm guarantee you. But obviously, you have to. Obviously, you have to know that he's moving on and you don't have that much time. So you better move on quicker because soon he's gonna be able to pop on his knees and he gets the and this arm is the arm that is free. The other arm is not free, guys. The other arm is on the ground. The other arm, sometimes he has all his weight on top of his arm. So that's why I have a confidence that once I make towards the side, the arm is down. The arm is like in between my leg and not around my leg. And I have the seat belt. But let's try to figure out not just the mechanic, because I believe everybody will easy make the move, even easy make the transition, I believe. But let's figure out timing and control the guy, he's moving out, there's nothing you can do, but try slow him down. Try to figure out how you can slow him down. Obviously, with your weight. Sometimes if you try to hold him, you stop in the position, you stay there. So I'm not trying to hold him because I couldn't hold him. I know he's moving out, but I'm gonna put a lot of weight on him, so he has to spend some energy, so he needs a little bit more time. And as he's moving out, I have a lot of weight on him, but I know he's coming out. I keep this leg away from him. That's the leg that I don't want to leave close to him. As he's moving out, that leg is really far, And as he's moving out, I'm just sucking. This is the option when there's no more option to be on his side control. There's no more option. He's moving out. He's getting out. If you stay there, he's going to pick you up, put it in your butt, and then maybe pass your guard the same way how you did to him. So the option is he's moving out. I'm moving out too. I don't need to stay on the side control. I want to have another position that maybe he'll give it to me if I just let him do what he wants to do and I go where I feel I need to go. So let's try to figure out that timing. When I say the time, slow down, don't rush, don't let him out, and then run. Try make it slow, so he has to work a little harder to get out. And once you get out, you just run the fast as you can. When I say the fast as you can, sometimes you can backstep, sometimes you can just run on your feet quick. But we try just go back to that good side, that side that you already probably know you have a better than the other side. So start on the opposite side and you run around to make to the side that you prefer. And you finish with the crucifix, with the choke, or just put the hooks. Let's try to finish the position. Guys, just one last thing that I was trying to say last time and I forgot, and then I realized it was already a little bit too late. But it's good because you guys have a little bit of break so you guys can focus on one thing and then now focus on the other thing. What I was trying to say, people's gonna compete this weekend. Sometimes you don't have that much experience in a tournament and you don't have a chance to reset. If you miss your chance, if you make a mistake, you're gonna have to wait to the next turn because probably that can make you lose. So believe that sometimes you have a good control, but then you're about to lose the control. So if you lose that control, just move to a next place, next place that you feel I want to find one word, but I don't think I can remember that word. A place that you feel it's just as good as the one that you had before. Just don't be frustrated to move on. As long as you move on to someone that you like, so that's fine. You can just keep moving on, and let the other person behind. He's fighting. He's still moving. He's fighting hard. So if you're competing and you don't have much experience, as the guys start to get out, just move on to a better place. Just try to do quicker. If you realize you can't hold him, if you can't hold him, great. But if he's getting out, don't just wait to hold until the end and then the guy's out and then you're both on your feet and maybe you have to start all over again. If you have a dominant position, try to transition to a better position as soon as you can before you lose that good position. That is just one option. But what I was trying to say before is that if you have all that control, especially in this position, If you are really like advanced and you feel like oh, I can control that. Try control better. Try control as much as you can, and try to use almost like the option that he had that he think he's escaping, but he's just going towards where you want. What I'm trying to say, like if I'm on the side control and he's not trying getting out, if he's not trying getting out, like it's a bad position too. Sometimes the guy's like, I'm just like I'm waiting to try something the ending. I want to just don't be submit. I want to go 10 minutes with you. And sometimes 10 minutes, over 10 minutes, like it's just too much. So if you can, you want to finish so you can kind of go fresh the next round. So if the person is not getting out and then you like, you know what you're doing, you know, when I say you know what you're doing, like you have options. What I was trying to say, like he's not trying getting out. So you almost kind of helping him, you know. You start to help him, like let he come up. And then once he comes up, you go to that. So different than what we talked before. Before, like the guy was getting out and you can't stop and then you just move on. Next time, if the guy gets to the point that he's not moving and you want to finish, you feel like, oh, I have the control, I just don't want to stay here. I have option, I can submit him, I just want to make him go towards like what I want. Because if someone just stay like this, it's hard to submit sometimes. So if you get to the point and you want to like finish him, try making him go where you feel like maybe he doesn't know he's going to like a trap. And that's kind of like the same thing that we just did right now. So if you're already in defense and you feel good about, I almost feel like, okay, go to my leg, but you never really give your leg. That's good side. You're almost like I'm giving him my leg over. If I keep my leg always open, I keep my leg away. I almost feel like I'm feeding him my leg. I keep my leg away. As soon as he feels like he has my leg, I'm keeping my leg away. And once his back is complete out, I'm going. And that's kind of like the next step that you want to. You want to be able to kind of like take the guy towards where you have options. When I say options, like you've been trained, you have the technique, and you feel like, oh, I don't think this guy knows like how to defend his neck. Let me go to his neck. Oh, this guy's too strong. I don't want to finish with Kimura arm bar. This guy's too strong. I have to get to his neck. Yeah, but it's no gi. There's no gi, so I can choke him. So go to his back, and then we're gonna have more options. But you want to have the control. When I say the control, like try slow down his escape. You can't control so much his escape that you can let him escape whenever he wants, as long as he's escaping towards like a bad position. And that's what we're looking for. So think about what you just did today, and the better you get, probably like more option you're gonna have towards what we just talked about. And the idea is like you have a side control, the guy is not moving, like you're on his belly, you know what I mean? And let him try to get out. You know what I mean? Once he try to get out, that's what we're looking for. You know? So that's what you want to do. That's kind of like how far you want to go. You want to start to like hit the person get out, but he's just kind of like walking himself to a really bad option for him. Guys, come on. Should double leg and you stay up. And you already throw your leg, but then he still have his hands on the mat. If he has his hands on the mat, maybe he's looking for like a duck under, or maybe he's still like really start to coming up to just get out. No, you should double leg. Try to get out. No, maybe he just want to try to get out of that, you know what I mean? So he got his hands on the mat to kind of like don't stay just underneath. So if that happening and he found out the person's hands on the mat, we have to still keep trying to break his base. You know what I mean? So, and then maybe now he's going to start reaching one hand on my hand, and then he's going to start to work it up. So before that happens, I'm going to just keep pulling him. Look what I'm doing. I'm going to pull his arm at the same time that I move out. Because I want to put all my weight on top of him. So I want to pull him and just kind of move my way back. So here he goes. Sprawl and keep pulling that. You right? Mm-hmm. Everything just to break like any posture, any base that he feels like he has with his arm. And obviously, if he has that base, he can be strong to break a grip, or he can be strong to just like push his head out of that. So he goes that. just keep pulling back. You know? I was stuck around a little bit, that could be done, but I was avoiding the wall. But you just keep moving out, you know, and make him drop over there. As soon as the other person drop, he can come up again. You drop, he come up. So he doesn't come up, I have to really squeeze him. You squeeze like so he doesn't have this, so he has something more like that. So he doesn't have that base back. So if you do this, I drop, he rotate to the other. So I got him down. Now I'm gonna get his arm at the most cross possible. The way I'm gonna do this, I'm really gonna squeeze my elbow together. I'm really gonna put that and kind of squeeze that. At the same time, that I'm kind of like put the weight so he stays lower. Like if I'm not even looking to put my head under. I'm not trying anything like this. I want to stay on top, but I want to keep him like a. I want to keep him in a way that he doesn't have the base. So at least this side he doesn't have that base. And then from here, guys, I'm gonna put my knee behind his arm. You guys can see like my knee, my leg is all behind his arm. So now he cannot really reach and get this leg anymore. He still can get this one, but it's okay. Well, we put him just in danger, but it's not like like if he get out and go on the other leg, and he can even throw you if he has this arm over here. He can right throw this one. You end up on the ball. So you don't want anything like this, right? So this should come in. He has a base. Make him fall. I make him fall, keep his arm across. Knee goes right behind his arm. At the same time that I release and make my way around him. My way around here just because I need a seat belt. I need a seat belt, and then I start to prepare if I want a crucifix or if I want to put a hook. Difference between hook and a crucifix, like the hook give you the point, the street mat, and the submission. The crucifix only gives the submission. You have a finish with one or the other, but once you put the hook to get a point, the other, if you do the crucifix, you can finish it, but you don't have a point. So you gotta choose what you need. You gotta choose what you need. Sometimes you're already like you really have a lot of points. You wanna add a little more pushes on, you go to the choke. The other way, like even you make your points, and then because you make the points, the other person start losing. He tries to skate, and then he taps. So you gotta choose like after that. But let's have the other person like shoot a takedown, and after shoot the takedown, just kind of like just stay in this position, because from this position he can step under, or this position he can just kind of walk away. It's just like a very calm scenario. So after you shoot a takedown, just put your hands on the mat once the other person throws. That's okay. Guys, the grip is like hands together, you know what I mean? It can be a gable grip, can be like a seatbelt grip, just hands together. And feel like which way you feel stronger, you know what I mean? Which way you feel like you can clamp better. The only thing I don't like is just like have maybe this, you know what I mean? Or maybe this, you know? Because like even if you feel like strong, you can feel strong, but can be very slippery. And like if you don't have like a grip, if you don't have something like that fits on your hand, you know what I mean, to hold. When it's that sweaty, it can be very like loose. When the other person really try like a yank and move out. So a lot of the time you gotta trust like you have something that you can really fit on your hand, like the wrist. So that's why like I believe that can be stronger. But I was like, you need to work on that. And this is what is gonna really kind of knock the person down once they have like their arm base. If the other person open his neck any moment, you don't have to go to like to his back. You can easily go just on the choke. You know? I'm losing my dog. But you do everything you can just so the arm doesn't get strong. You know, if the other person the hand on the floor, you just keep knocking that. But you can find someone strong that like you keep doing this and then he keep bringing it back. He doing this and then he just keep putting it back, and then you never feel like you isolated the arm or just control the arm as much. So he did the same thing over here, and then I knocked him back. You know, and then he like and I never feel like I have the time to pause, the position. So if I stay here, guys, too long, I'm getting tired. I can lose the position, and I just don't want to stay in this position. And this place we need is a transition place. We can't stay. You cannot just hold against someone good. He'll figure out a way, and sometimes the way that he figure out can be you be on bottom. Someone good, if you stay that long, he can find a way like to put you on your back, and then like you not more have a chance to be on your back. So if you knock the other person down over here, I mean, and then he's get back. So instead of trying to hold him, you cross his arm, he coming back, and then you realize like I can't pause over here. Go. Just throw, keep moving forward and get out of the way. I don't want you guys to do that first because I want you guys to have the mechanic to control the position if you have, but when you cannot control the position, you have to time. Once he crosses his arm and then when he pulls his arm back, you just go around, just like before. But now you do this fast. You do this in the time when he's done, he's just kind of like it's not reaching. So as soon as he pulls, you just go quick. Don't stay too low, Scott, please. So you shouldn't. Just make the way around in a movement, not pausing and not stopping with your knee over here. You just you keep pulling at the same time that you just get out of the way. Guys, maybe it doesn't go right in the first move, or you have to try to find that time when you pull his hands touch the mat, and there you go. So that you have no time to pause. And this, and the first move is the very strong position that we must have that. We must have like that control. That control to like, I tap him or I can make it back one of the other. No losing position, because this is like a transition that you can win, he can win, he can find a way. So why not you the one that like has that control? So we have to develop that control. There's a position that we don't want to lose anything. When I say we don't want to lose anything, like we don't want to go backwards, we don't want to like reset, we want to just kind of move forward and take advantage once we find those positions. Position that doesn't give the other person that much options. If he doesn't have that much options, we have to keep the options that are good for us. So for example, he has like maybe he was looking for my leg, maybe he was recover guard, and then end up with a headlock position over here. If he make a big mistake, I can just go to the choke. But I believe he's gonna be maybe be careful and not make like a big mistake. I believe he knows what he's doing. And maybe he doesn't need to sacrifice anything and try to make a mistake. He's just waiting and being careful. So my point is, if he's being careful, I'm gonna be careful too. And then I'm gonna make everything kind of like stuff. And I'm gonna just kind of like walking with my knee behind his elbow and get in between like his elbows and his thigh. But I'm being careful and he also like being careful too. So the point is, as soon as I move, I'm expecting maybe he's gonna move too. I believe like he's just waiting for someone of us make the move, and because I want to win, because I have the dominant position, I need to take a lead and I need to move forward. So the point is, as soon as I do this, he scoop under. He start recover, and then he try to just kind of get over and recover from that. So the point is, as soon as I recover, as soon as like I transition to his back, and he try to move, I have to kind of get inside. When I say get inside, like I was looking for this, I need to get inside. I need to get in between like his knee and his head, and everything is gonna be like a curl. He's gonna be crunch. Yeah. Just getting myself over there. So my goal is to go to his back. I wanna have a seat belt. I wanna go to crucifix. I wanna work behind him where he doesn't see like my hands go to his neck. But if he's kind of be careful too, and as soon as I move, he moves too. I have to take advantage and he still have some type of like a dominant position. So he's being careful. He's waiting. I'm walking over here. As soon as I move, and I'm not doing this slow, guys. I'm not doing this like and wait over here. As soon as I move, he starts like a hip escape. He starts recovering, he starts getting inside. And I'm fighting against that. and I keep him like the most like down possible. What I'm trying to say, I'm going to start to work to already pin his back on the mat. I don't want to let him go back on his knees. I don't want to let him go back flat on his back. I want to make sure he just stay like on his side, so I can establish the side control again. So I have this. As soon as I go, just go inside. Look how like I don't have a seat belt. I don't have a underhook. I just have to manage to stay like in contact to him. Away from his guard, away from his head. I don't want to hit bump him and start going like behind me. So I have to stay just kind of in between his head and his knees. Who's on board over here, guys? Who's on board? I don't think you're gonna be able to recover, but at least try stay kind of crunch. Try stay kind of like and then who's on top has to open it up, try establish like some type of a dominant position from that. That's what I guess. It's a dominant position that you have the headlock. You maybe make the person tap, or you maybe make to his back and then you can make him tap, or maybe you make to his back, you get a lot of points and you're so ahead of him that like I don't think he can catch you up after that. So we can lose. And the point is, it's a dominant position. And he feels that. He feels like he cannot make a mistake. So he's kind of waiting for you to make mistakes. But can be a mistake of mine if I just stay that too long. If I just stay that too long and then he starts to feel comfortable and then he gets loose and sweaty and then like he can maybe figure out. So if it's a dominant position, so I need to move forward because it's a dominant, but it's something that like if I just stay here, maybe I get to nowhere. So that's why I'm working, getting his elbow across, but as soon as like I transition, he drops. Because I didn't make to the seatbelt, I can't get this arm so deep. So one thing that I missed before to explain to you guys, that's why I'm doing this. As soon as I transition over here, don't reach for mine. I don't want to get this arm so deep. Because if he continues to roll and bump, my arm cannot come out and I can't stop the roll. So as soon as he makes to his back and then he go to his side, you pull your arm out. Pull your arm out because you don't want to get arm so deep and commit over there. So as soon as I train this, just kind of pull the arm out. I don't have like the underhook, but I'm not giving the underhook either. So I land over here and just stay tight on him. Maybe I don't have his head control, but I hold the top and it's just gonna be just as good, just so I can establish. If he gets you one point and he really wanna be on his knees, if you really, obviously, like you let him. If he really wants to kind of just turn on his knees, you let him because you're gonna go back to what was the plan before. But after he lands on his side, you don't have the seatbelt yet. Pull your arms out and just kind of keep kind of elbows tucked in, find a good grip, and establish from there. That's what I guess. There's a lot of options there. If you have a good arm triangle, you can go to a good arm triangle. If the guy doesn't know how to defend the arm triangle, if the guy doesn't know there's an option arm triangle, maybe you cannot go to the arm triangle, but there's a lot of options over there. I told about the guillotine, I already told. We just don't want to go back. We just don't want to reset because once you fight over there, you have a good chance to kind of like lead the match, you know what I mean? So we don't want to go back in a place like that. But we have a lot of options. But some options that we have to be very careful is like if I just transition and I get here, I can just kind of like drive, right? Maybe he stay here, maybe he wants to roll. Stay a little strong over there. But I can just kind of keep driving, just don't let him be in between, right? But get to one point that like if he goes on his side, it's not that bad. If he just lands on his side, he's almost kind of giving the second through and I can just kind of fight from there as long as like I don't let this get underneath me. But if I took a little longer over here, and then he sit down. Sit down. Can you sit down? Yes. And he's not really on his side. And he's looking for to sitting up. So he's looking for sitting up. And then if I just maintain the headlock position, and then he puts me on his guard, and he flips me over, and then he lands on the good side, the headlock will be just waist, and it probably just kind of like against me now. You know? So the point is, I didn't transition his back. I didn't transition to his back, but he already see to kind of do the same thing. He sat, he began the position, and then he took his elbow. He kept everything kind of defending. So the point now is like, I don't want to stay here, because if I stay here, soon he's gonna put his foot inside my leg. Soon he's gonna sit up, and soon like I'm inside his guard and no more like in a dominant position. So when the post is kind of like in between like this, guys, I have to run away from his legs and knock him down on his back again. Sit down. Can you just sit down? So I have to run away from his leg. I go more towards the head. I really like start running and really start knocking him on his side, so I can go back over there. He's already on his guard. Since he's already on his guard, I want to put him on his back. I don't want to let him sitting up with like a butterfly hook, elevated. I want to just kind of knock the other person on his side so I can run to the head, run to the side control instead of his guard. So who's on board over here, guys? Just sit down. And who's on top? Don't wait till the person put the hook. Maybe he's gonna try to put the hook or the half guard. I'm gonna run towards this way. He maybe gonna be chasing me. And I have to knock his back on the mat. Once I get his back on the mat, I'm back to that same thing before. That kind of like in between that. Now I'm still in a dominant scenario. So who's on board over here, guys? Just try to sit down. And who's on top, try knock the other person back. And still fight to get in between, because if you knock on his back and if he continues to recover, you miss your chance. I missed one thing. Let me go back over there, see if I remember. So he goes over there, okay, I remember. So he has his elbow, right? And I told him I want to put his back on the mat. With the elbow, it's hard. When I say it's hard, like I really have to kind of like go over there to break it up. But if you get to one point that he put his arm pose, now I have to get even more weight and momentum on top and just kind of much higher. So don't wait too much till he kind of posture up. Don't wait too much till he kind of like do something like this, because it's going to be hard to get his back on the mat once he has the hand flat down. If you still kind of like feel like a begin because maybe you don't compete as much, even feel like a little higher belt, but because you don't have the experience, you still feel like a little bit like not so confident with the tournament, with the competition. There is a point that we have to get used to. There's a place that we're going to be more often than the other ones. And what I'm trying to say, there's like a transition that is going to happen really often. Like for example, come on, we've been working like escape on the side control. But at the same time, we can work like a sprawl from the person try to take me down, and I get a headlock, and then I'll go to the same position. We've been working like we have a side control, and then I'm looking to control him, but then he's getting out, and I'm back to the same position. So there's a lot of places that we're gonna end up like in this position a lot. So just so you guys have like more options, we have to find like that type of transition and get strong on those. Many times when you feel you have something, maybe you lose and you end up in this position. You think you have a side control and then you lose the side control, you end up in this position. You begin a mat, the guy tries to take you down, you end up in this position. We've been doing a drill in this position, and then it's always like a connection from one move to the other, and you end up in this position again. So let's have like as much control we have on that, because that's how I feel like when you start to lose something, you can go back over there. But has to be done right. I end up having the headlock. Can you stand up? I don't want you to stand up, move away. I don't want you to move away. I don't want you to stand up and then you just get out of that and you come back even. And then I came from like a dominant position and now we're both even. So once we have that position, we have to move forward. We have to advance. We cannot just kind of like break even or maybe like a back away from that. So we have to advance in that position. I have a headlock and I have an arm control. From the same side that I have the arm control, I'm going to his back. Because that's the side that I'm going, he can just catch me if I don't take his arm out of the way. So I'm always gonna plan to squeeze his arm. I'm gonna get his arm together with his head. So I'm gonna do this with his arm. So I'm gonna squeeze and then go around before he catch my leg. But there is a moment that like you're about to let go that you have to move fast. So when I'm about to let go, I have to move at the same time. And I have to be first, I have to be before him. So the far I cross his arm, less chance he has to come back with his arm. So I still feel like a little bit of like an anxious, like I'm gonna have to let go to move out of this place. When I'm about to let go, I have to move to a strong place. So I'm trying to say, like, I have the position. He's kind of waiting. He's kind of waiting to like to move. So I have to move fast, and I have to get my knee behind his triceps. Once my knee is behind his triceps, it's obvious like the leg is like close to him. Once I get my knee behind his triceps, I know I made it. I'm in a good place right now. I can finish. I can make the hooks. I will advance from where I was before. Couple things that can help. Maybe you get the guy's arms over here, but he still can pull his arm once you let go. You get his arm across, but he still can pull his arm up. If he's just waiting, sometimes you feel like the guy's just waiting. He's just waiting to be moved so he can kind of recover from that. And you can't stay here too long. I don't want to end up in this position. I don't want to just finish the round with this control. Maybe I'm losing. I have to advance. So I will squeeze my elbows together, and I'm gonna move him kind of like I'll move him away towards where I'm going. Away from where I'm going. I'm going to the left, I move him to the right. I'm going to the left, I throw him to the right. So if I go around this way, I have to push him towards the other way. So when I'm about to let go, I'm gonna try pushing out, and I'm gonna try to go around at the same time. I have this. So with the headlock, with the arm kind of like a clamp up, I'm gonna guide him on the wrong direction. But try and release this the quickest possible, because any attacks you have on him, he's still gonna pull you back. So if I get over here, and I go, and then he grab my elbow, and then I cannot make the turn, and then he recover, you know. And then I'm maybe on top, but I'm not in like a dominant position anymore. So I'm gonna try move him away from where I'm going. And when I'm ready to let go, I will go the quickest possible, and I run the fastest possible away from him. So I have this. I'm spinning him. He's not going there by himself. I'm throwing him. So try to do the quickest possible at the same time that you go on that direction, and you get your knee behind his triceps. Like this. My knee's there. Now I know I have a seat belt. I can look for like a crucifix. My weight stay behind his shoulders, not over his head. My weight behind his shoulder, or I can just drop on my side and just put the hooks and just start walking to finish from there. Let's go try, guys. Guys, maybe I wasn't that clear when I was talking before. Maybe I was just speaking the same thing. But I want you guys just to understand, like, there's a lot of chance you're gonna end up in this position. There's a lot of chance. From the highest belt to the lowest belt. Probably the lowest belt you're gonna have to figure out more, because maybe he doesn't practice this move as much, doesn't have that many time in being in this position. So think about many times you're gonna end up in this position. And you don't wanna just end up there and just kind of let the move fading away, and you don't take advantage, the guy doesn't take advantage. The guy basically kind of like got a free pass, you know, if you let him go from that. He's supposed to give us something. He's supposed to give a side control. He's supposed to give like his neck, you know. He's supposed to give like 4 points, you know. He needs to leave that position with like losing something. You know? So let's try as much as you can extend the move. Like, don't make just kind of like a shy move. Try and make like really strong move from this, you know. Try kind of really exaggerated that. Really like put energy so you can get strong. Like what are you doing? Like you carry like 10 pounds, now you carry 20 pounds. Just kind of start feel strong and try feel strong in this position. Exercise like the mechanic of the position. I'm moving his head, but I'm not moving his leg. So there's a chance if the guy's flexible, he's small, many facts that can kind of help him. I can circle him, but his leg is still gonna be here. So sometimes he doesn't really catch me with his arm, but then he catch me with his legs. And then I end up throwing him and I end up landing right inside his guard. So let's try always think about that. So you throw him and you avoid his guard. When I say his guard, I don't let him catch a half guard, doesn't let him catch like your foot behind. So as I'm throwing this, his legs over here, you don't go towards his leg, you go towards his head. So we go towards his head, like I throw his head, but then I stay close to his head. So I do the same thing, So I'm trying to go to his back, I throw him, and then the guy kind of like, he's been waiting with his guard, right? So do the same thing and move your legs out. I run to get around him, to get the seatbelt, but my legs gonna avoid him. I'm getting him with my arms, but my legs avoid him. So I'm doing this. My legs kind of like my legs going this direction. I went around, I went over him, but my legs kind of like don't leave your legs kind of like towards him. So let's do the same thing. Look, he did the same thing. I got the seatbelt. My leg is kind of going away from his guard. And then we can roll, we can fight to the crucifix. As long like I'm not inside his half guard, as long like I'm on his back, I'm fine. So who's on bottom? Try pull guard. Try. Who's on top? Do the same thing. You go to the seatbelt. Once you go to the seatbelt, if you pull guard, keep your feet away from his guard. Let's try to do this slow first. So you pull guard. You can kind of stay here if you can. If he start roll with you, you can roll with him. Your leg, you don't want to put your leg there. If you put your legs there, you gotta put your hook and not the same side, right? Because now maybe he can stall you there. So who's on bottom? You guys, the person stuff, just pull guard. And then who's on top kind of like think about what he wants to do and then you kind of avoid that. Guys, I just did a bad shot, you know what I mean? I just stay underneath. I wasn't planning to be underneath. You never should be working to, you never should be training to be underneath to try to do something. But sometimes you try to make something work and thing goes wrong and you're underneath and you better get out of that, you know? But you better get out of there safe, you know? Not just like tap and just walk away, you know? So I was over here. I tried taking down and I just ended up in this position. I'm supposed to keep my neck tucked the whole time. And if I don't have my neck tucked, I'm supposed to at least like control his arm too at the same time, you know what I mean? But any one of those work, you know what I mean? As soon as I get over here, he just found my neck, you know? Exactly. And he found my neck and he didn't keep my neck with my arm. He did the guillotine just with my neck. If you have my arm, I believe we're gonna be the guillotine that kind of like takes a little longer to tap, you know? If you do like the arm guillotine. But when you go this starts to hurt before it starts choking. So that's why like you can't take that long. So I'm in this position over here. I was supposed to control his arm. I'm supposed to tuck my chin. I didn't want any one of those. So as soon as I got here, he just like went to my neck. And as soon as he went to my neck, he starts to like see guard like that. Right when he see guard, I have to try avoid one thing. Okay?
I have to avoid this arm come up. I don't know if you guys can see, but his elbow starts to come up. I have to stop that. The best way to stop this, I have to reach over his arm before his elbow gets too high. Just go and reach over his arm.
Imagine, you know your neck is open. I'm sure you feel it's not. I didn't realize, he was choking the hell out of me. I'm sure you guys gonna feel that he starts to choke. Don't go there and try to take his arm out. It's too late because you're really like a sink underwater. As soon as you feel his neck, I'm sure. As soon as you start to feel his arm start to like a choking, you have to go find his elbow. And as soon as you go to his elbow, you have to make sure you keep his elbow because if his elbow come out, that's how he's gonna finish you. So he found his neck, your neck open. Now I want to just make sure I'm over here. He goes.
Just found his elbow. Right when I end up over here, guys, I don't want to just stay in this position because I'm still stuck on his guard. Now from this position, I'm gonna be working to try to free my neck. I control his elbow and I'm just working to try to free his neck. You guys know he has a grip over here. I don't know exactly which one he's hold which. Maybe he has the left on top of the right. Maybe he has the right on top of the left. I'm gonna go to the one that is free, not the one that he's hold. He has one hand free. He's the one that is being hold. I'm gonna go there and just try to pull. If you do the opposite, can you switch? I go there and start pushing. And the whole time I'm just try to get my chin inside of his arm. So just pushing this. Once I break his grip, now I can try to pull it out. But
I'm gonna have to first break his grip to try to take his arm after later. So he has his grip. Just make the grip. If he have this grip, I'm gonna pull this arm. If he switch the grip, I'm just gonna push the other. But with the first hand. So if you do this grip, I'm gonna push, and if you do the other grip, I'm gonna pull. With the same hand, because the other hand is just too busy protect your neck. So one more time. I'm going over there, he goes.
I just protect the arm. So one thing that I forgot to explain, guys, my knees is out of the ground the whole time. So control his elbow and go find his hand right now. He probably is gonna be choking. You're gonna go there. All right, I have to pull. So I have to pull. As soon as I break his grip, I'm gonna try control his hands.
After I break his grip, I control his hand so he don't connect again. If he connect again, you guys already know what's gonna happen. So after you break his grip, just grab his hand so he don't connect again. Even if you have the hand on your neck, you control the other hand, you're supposed to be fine. But let's try to do this without drop your knees on the ground. As soon as he pull guard and his elbow come up, you reach his elbow, take your both knees out of the ground, and try break his grip no matter what. All right, let's try, guys. Imagine I'm still over there. He goes to my neck. And I'm already feel his elbow come up.
His elbow's up.
A lot of the time, the people's gonna pull the elbow out before he pull guard. You know what I mean? I'm over here. I'm already started. So my elbow is out almost before I pull guard. So if you feel the person already dropping the elbows out, don't go find his elbow because it'll be too late. And the reason why you don't want to go find his elbow, because if you don't find his elbow, you're probably going to be stuck over there forever. You know what I mean? So I'm over here, he goes to my arm, and his elbow come up.
Right when his elbow come up, I'm already feeling his elbow, my shoulder over here. Right when his elbow come up, let's try to avoid his guard no matter what. No, go first. Just don't let his guard catch you. His elbow is up. He's choking me. I don't have that much time, so I need to avoid his guard. If I get a little bit stuck on his leg over here,
probably that's going to be enough to make me tap. Or you better have an extra oxygen. If you hold it like that, you're not going to be able to break the submission quick. So you have to try to avoid his guard. So the idea is his elbow is out, avoid his guard. Try to push his guard out of the way. The same way how I push his guard out of the way, I move away from his guard. If his feet start chasing me, I move out of his guard. He goes.
I'm already control his leg. He go try half guard. Make sure you avoid his guard. And from this position,
I'm gonna try pass his guard. But try pass his guard towards the side that his elbow is out. The reason why, because we gotta go find that elbow. That from the beginning you just protect yourself. Try pass the guard towards that side. Oh, that was good. That's good.
He goes there. His elbow is up. I'm gonna avoid his guard. My feet has to be quick. I bump. Stay, my foot. Right when I bump, elbow's gotta come out. Stay, my foot. Elbow up. Arm is gotta come up. If I control his arm above his elbow, I must be fine. Maybe he still squeeze a little bit. If he's still choking, he can try to go to like a north-south position to try to release the pressure. But most of the time, after you stop the elbow, you're supposed to like you start to breathe again. You know what I mean? But let's have the other person like lock the guillotine a little quicker, but don't let him lock the half guard, or don't let him lock like close guard. Anything in the guard, you don't want to deal with that. So avoid his guard as soon as he like lock your neck. And you're supposed to just go towards the side. Guys, someone just tried to take down on you. You end up on top. I want to get a control, even like I already defended takedown. I don't want to keep defending takedown. I don't want to let him get back on his feet. I want to get a good control of him. After I control, I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to hold him forever. I don't want to take a chance. After I control, I cross his arm and squeeze my elbows together, get his arm across. I go around. And I go around so I can start to get ahead. Get ahead because like before we even just defend it down, who knows what's going to be his next step, but now I make to his back. Now I believe I'm ahead. At least like in the jiu-jitsu wise, I have the control now. You guys can see, I consider control if I'm behind his arms, because I have his back and he has no much. Most likely just protect his neck, or even he can even start to reach for my legs, but he's just gonna get his arm in trouble if he starts to reach too much, you know. But I feel like when you do this quick, it's not that you did a mistake, but I feel like you're being intercepted. Halfway you're going fast, you make a quick transition, the guy catch you like right in the end. Not that you did anything wrong, but maybe just like you slip out, or maybe the guy's arm slip out, and then he made the way around, you know. So I'm over here, I got his arm, I have to let go to switch for his back. I have to let go. And then his arm just kind of make there. His arm doesn't really come out. He just go around, you know what I mean? He doesn't have much control, but at the same time, he doesn't give me that much control. I have the seatbelt, I still have the same seatbelt, but not much control. So look, his arm is around. I don't let his arm come up. I don't let him take advantage, but his arm is out, and that's like a fact, you know what I mean? So as soon as his arm come out, you know something went wrong. So we have to fight against his arm, and I don't want to start over. I want to see if he has a quality in what he's doing. I want to fight to maintain the back, just like you believe the back will give you the submission, you can end the fight. Because you're so close to end the fight, I believe. So his arm is out, guys. Instead of take the weight out of his shoulder, get your shoulder out, and goes up, outside, that's not good. Instead of like his shoulder come up, I'm gonna sit back. I'm sitting back, I'm putting like, I don't know if you guys can imagine, but I'm sitting, I put all the weight on the ground, not letting his arm coming up. So I'm just sitting over there. And then from here, I start to stretch my legs away from, and start to go around him. So now I'm behind. So his arm come out, but I put so much weight that his arm wasn't doing that much work. So I just sit on his arm. I just sit over there. Obviously, he can do a bunch of things. He can fall back. He can reach over my legs, you know what I mean? Over. All down. But at the same time, you're not waiting. I'm not waiting to see what he's doing. I'm escaping. I'm getting out of there because I know his arm it was on the middle of the path to get to his back. So doesn't matter what he's doing. Doesn't matter what he's doing. My leg is going away from him. I'm still have the same control from the beginning. The same control, nothing changed. But once I free myself out of his arms, I make the way behind because now I can have a crucifix, I can go, and I can
hope to decide the mat. When I say decide mat, doesn't mean you have to finish it. Doesn't mean you have a time to finish. Doesn't mean he's gonna make a mistake to you finishing. But you decide because you got ahead. You decide like you're gonna take more energy from him to get out of there. Decide because now he's fighting for his life to tap and lose, and you're just you're already ahead of the mat. That's what we believe so. But same way, guys, he got your leg. Maybe he was quick. I don't let this leg I'm fighting to get this leg out. I'm fighting to get this out. He's controlled this. But maybe he has a long arm and he quick connect his hands. And then he just like dump you on your back. Make you dump. Please on top. Turn a little bit down. Yes. So look, he's fighting to get on top. You have his back, but he has your leg. So from here, guys, before he pulls his arm together. Now that he twist your arm, before he do this, now maybe I cannot break his grip. But once his arm is extended, it's not because he connect his hands that he has my leg. He connect his hands, but now I can just start kicking, leg away from him, leg away from him. Once I get the first again, I turn down. And then one more time, I'm behind his arm. His arm is no more on my way. So those two things could just get on your way to his back. If you quick over there, you don't did a big mistake. Something just went slightly wrong, on a high level. Imagine even something when it's slightly wrong, you're still gonna have to take care of it. Don't think like that. We're not gonna cost you later. So you have to try and make the way around his back. So let's try to put this together. One time the other person has the arm and then you make the other way around. The next time the guy gets the arm out and then has your leg, and then he get your butt on the mat, your back on the mat, and then you still walk the way around his back. That's what guys, this was just a little bit of like a recap from early class, because I want to make sure everybody gets what we're gonna do next. So you want to make his back, you believe there's a submission there. When I say submission, you want his back, guys, you have the control and the submission. If you don't get the submission, at least you control, and then you have more time over there. Different than other submissions, that you jump with your submission, and then if it doesn't work, you're on the bottom, or you're underneath, or you in trouble. Now, we're fighting to get to his back so we get ahead. And I'm fighting with all my strength. I fight with all the tricks that I can get to make to his back. Even someone that got you here, you fight hard too, but I'm just working everything I can. So this leg is the whole time fighting to just don't get to his pulling his. So this leg is fighting, but then he connect his hand like we did before, and then he just got you down, and you guys can see if he has more control, maybe you never free. But if you keep your leg the whole time extend, I'm not giving that much control. I'm just make sure he doesn't win this fight. When I say win this fight, I didn't win, I didn't break the grip, but at the same time, I'm not giving to him. Especially when he connect his hands, connect his feet. I'm sorry, connect them. Now, I'm just maybe I just a complete loss the back. Maybe come back. So now, guys, even if you cannot break, even if you cannot really break this grip, you don't give it up. This leg still far away from, and if you start to chase me with his leg, I'm at the same time I'm not going towards him. I'm not bringing the leg together. So if you get to the point, he's too strong, much stronger than you thought, and your mistake is gonna cost a little bit more now. You cannot break this grip. So I just don't want to end up on board, guys. So for example, I'm not fighting through everything just to waste my energy. I could be fighting hard, but just to stay here. That's not the point. I'm not just holding over here and get tired and then going the ending. I have to figure out, I'm just fighting to get on top, but I have to just end up with energy. I cannot just risk everything and just end up with nothing. So from here, guys, he's pulling. So I'm fighting, he's pulling my leg. Instead of just fight over here, guys, I'm going to use this foot, get myself on top. when you get yourself on top, you're not, doesn't mean you have the control, but you're not on bottom. You know what I mean? If something went wrong, you couldn't finish the back, he's holding that, you try escape from him, instead of escape, you just switch direction. And what I'm trying to say, like, we fight for everything. We fight for, like, we do everything to, like, to just don't lose the position. But we're not going one direction. When I say one direction, I have his back, I'm almost on his back. I'm just holding his back for the rest of my energy. It's not that. We just, like, we fight, but we have to find direction. That's the whole point here. You fall down, you try to kick your leg away from him. He's pulling, you can't kick. Instead of just keep kicking, you just return. All the energy, like he's pulling, you just go with. So I got down, he just pulled my leg. I got down, he tries to turn, start on your, the person, he's turning to get on top. He's starting to turn to get on top. If you now keep there. If you let go, he's fighting to get on top. He wants to kind of like as soon as he can, he wants to mount and step over my legs. He wants to get like he wants to keep you there. So we don't have that much time. I cannot just be holding him there because soon maybe he's gonna mount on you. Right? So we don't want to let everything just get wrong. So my leg is going away and he's trying to get on top. So this foot over here, guys, bump you to get on top. After you get on top, your leg may be still in danger. Same position. Your leg may be still in danger. So maybe he let go. Maybe he's like, oh, what's going on? Maybe he let go. Maybe not. Maybe once you get on top, now I'm on top. Now I start to kind of really like kicking and heavy and still doing that force to break. But now you're on top. So before you're on body, they couldn't kick. Now you got back on top. So try to use your weight as a sprawling. Just kind of get yourself like a heavy. If you cannot stay on top, but at least like break out of the position, that's a plus, you know what I mean? Before you almost end up on bottom, so now you got back on top. But if you can't get on top, try and maintain something. Maintain maybe that back, maybe the side control. We don't go backwards, right? So, I got here. So he's holding, I broke. The grip, maybe he's not really on his back, maybe he's not on his guard. If I can maintain this, stay here, like it's a good place. If he turns on his knees, you know what I mean, and you have his back, that's great, you know. If he go back, if he keeps hold my leg, please. If he keeps getting on top, you know, you sprawl and you just get up. That's fine too. You just got out of like a big trouble. So let's figure out like a better way to end that situation. All right, that's what I got. If you guys don't know why we do sometimes those crazy exercises, because something like this, you know, you gotta make it up. You know, sometimes you have to just get your body out there. You know, I see so many people here like they did 1, 2, and then it was bad, and then the third one they get. You know what I mean? So you have to just kind of put together. You have to like understand that how much energy you throw in, and sometimes we do those different exercises and that kind of like what we talk about. You know what I mean? So, but remember, if you do once, twice, and then you got the third one, doesn't mean you're gonna get like when it's a real situation. If you throw one and then the guy start feel your energy going that way, he also gonna change things too. So it's little surprise. I mean, don't think like you can have 1, 2, 3 chances. You know, you just have one chance to make on top, and if he realize which way you're going, maybe he changed things. So try to do everything like once, you know what I mean? And if you did right at first, like that's great, because you're gonna get a little bit more complicated. But if you don't do it right, you still want to make sure the first move gets better, because I believe the first move is better than this one. You know what I mean? But we still fighting, we still like make our way out there. You know? So I got he got my leg. Let's go back. When you put my leg, don't fall. And that's usually what happens. You know what I mean? I got here. He doesn't want to fall. He doesn't want to like fall with me. He just want to keep me on the ground. But then I pull him too, because here my leg is too close to him, guys. That's why that's why we both fall. You know, because if I go down, I pull him down with me. You know what I mean? We both stay on the ground. I don't want to let him pull
stay too heavy on top. And my legs, I'm kicking this leg the whole time, never relaxing this leg. But maybe your leg got too close, or you get a little distracted, then he got your leg too. And that's like a little bit more complicated because now like you're a little bit more stuck. There's not much momentum, there's not even much movement of this leg. The leg is stuck. Depending how long is the person's leg, how long is your leg, sometimes you can just come here and kind of like get your leg up. Especially if he's not aware, you know what I mean? You can come here and just kick and get your leg. But most of the time, not. Most of the time your leg's stuck and you kick, it's not getting out. So now guys, that foot, you gotta get on top. But you have to let go. You pretty much let go his back. Because you need a little bit more momentum. So my point is like, if you can do without your leg, I think the half guard is better. But if you have to do it, you just don't want to stay on body. And now from now, he already have the half guard. So he doesn't have to get back on top. Maybe he doesn't want to give the side control or his back. So maybe he's going to stay here for a little bit. Can you rotate my first? So if you stay here, maybe now you're going to have to fight to get in the hook. Or maybe you're going to have to start stand up and start to kick, get up. But most important, like, we just don't want to stand on body. We just don't want to like give up that position, right? So now, guys, I believe most you're going to have to let go. Not right away. You don't let go right away. Let go like when you almost get it there, you're probably going to have to let go just to get your back on top. If you can do it without let go, and I mean like everybody body function different. So if you can figure out to get on top without let go, that's great. But if you have to, try let go like in the end, not early on. If you let go early on, probably the guy's gonna just pee on the back. So hold on body, guys, just hold the half guard. And then we finish on top. Doesn't mean you pass his guard, you're still gonna fight on top, but we just got ourselves back on top.
Every time I get in this position, or you can be in a big trouble, the other person can take you down, or you can keep like a dominant position. So we always want to choose to be in a dominant position. So my point is, I'm going to squeeze my elbows together, get one of his arm out of the way, and make my way turn towards that side. Because that's the side that I took his arm out. Guys, I have to remember because people still get confused. So I take this arm out of the way, so now I can go around there and the arm is not going to get me. So if I go towards the other side, I'm sure he's going to try to open his arm and get my leg. So I have to go towards this side. And I always try like to hide this leg. Because the way when I let go, if his arm comes out, he can just get my leg. So my point is, I get this. I put my knee behind his arm. So even if you grab this one, he's most like stuck than free from the position. And then obviously like I have a good crucifix position. But the point is, I tuck this in. I bring everything towards the side, and I still have one arm on the other side. But sometimes the other person go and hold this arm. And then you end up getting this position. And obviously, like if I come with like a momentum, as soon as I get here, I can just kind of like just really yank my arm out with the momentum of the rotation. I'll try that, right? So it's not because he's holding this that I feel like I cannot go to his back. I still can go to his back. And with the momentum, I'm just gonna really yank this out. Most likely because there's no gi. With no gi, probably like we're gonna get arms slip out with just like enough momentum, you know. But if you get to the point, you get here, and your arm didn't really come out, you make yourself to his back, but your arm is still stuck. Now let's just be patient. Be patient, you don't fall. Be patient, you don't be rolled over. You know, I don't want to be rolled. Can you roll with me? I don't want to roll underneath with this position. So be patient just to stay there. So I got here, he hold my arm. I still don't want to give this leg. So I make sure my knee stay behind his arm. If you want to get this other leg, I'm okay with. I can kind of manage to keep his arm isolated. Now he only have one hand over there, but probably he just hold his arm. I'll keep this hand kind of like stopping in case he try roll, in case he try recover guard now. I'll keep this hand just so I stay on his side and not on his guard. So I'll just be patient, right? If I can pull my arm, great. If I cannot pull my arm, I'm just be patient. Maybe it's too dry, or maybe the guy has a very strong grip from there. So I'll just be patient. I'm on his back. I'm already on his back. I don't have the hooks, but I'm behind him. He's not really like from me able to attack to pick me up or put me down. So I'm still here. So now I'm gonna take my time. If I want to, I still can kind of yank when he's not expecting. If it doesn't come out, now I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna go there. I can go there and then free my arm. Once I free my arm, I'll go back to what I was doing before. There is a chance once you free your arm, maybe he rolls with you, and then you continue to roll with him. You have his back. You're kind of like you're behind him, so you have the seatbelt. But we don't want to roll if you don't have a good seatbelt. We don't want to go with him if the seatbelt is not good. So any moment, like we make sure we free your arm. Once you free my arm, we lock the seatbelt, and then we're ready to go. But we try to avoid his guard. If you just try to recover guard, just stay on his side. So one more time, please. Like, so I tuck his elbow in, I go behind, I try to pull. If it doesn't come out, I'll make sure I don't roll over him. I'll make sure he doesn't hold my leg, so my knee is right behind his elbow. Now I take my time to free this. If I find a good grip, I go over here, just open it up. That helps. If he pulls me down, I can go underneath and just kind of pull this. And then obviously now it's gonna be really hard to hold my arm with just one hand. And then seatbelt. If I have a seatbelt, I can choose if I have the seatbelt now, I can choose if I wanna go to the crucifix and go to the submission, or if I wanna go to the hook and then go to the submission. Guys, the difference between crucifix and seatbelt, both give you the submission, but one gives you the point first. If you're in an urgent to get the points, 1 minute left, it's 0-0. You need to make a point to make sure you win the match. You go to the back and put the hooks. If you have like 5 minutes, you already have 5 points ahead of him. You don't need more points. Just go to the submission and try and the mat first. But that's the options you have. Or you go to the back, or you go to the crucifix. But who's on board, guys? Just hold the arm that's on top of your shoulder. Just hold the arm and keep the arm like tucking. And who's going around, do the rest. Let's go try, guys. Many times you're gonna be going to someone's back, and instead of the person giving his back, he'll give like the top position. He'll hide his back, giving like the top position. You let him stay on the top, but he just kind of like start recover guard. So he kind of gives up to try to take you down, but then he falls on his back. He falls on his side. So he's giving the top position, but not necessarily he's just kind of like give like an easy time. Sometimes he gives the top position, but he start recover guard, and probably he has a good recover. He probably has a good sweep from that. So we don't want to accept the top position the way he wants. If someone gives the top position because he's hiding the back, we make sure we stay on top and not on his guard. So two different things. So if I make to his back, you see he's holding my arm. I make to his back and he start recover now. I have to make sure I get away with his guard. It's almost like I just keep passing his guard. His guard keep coming, I manage to pass his guard. So whatever guard he try, if he try recover with his hook, if he try recover with a half guard, I just manage to just keep passing his guard. Even I'm not really on his guard, even I'm almost kind of on his back. So if I get over here, he try to, I just stay on the side. Even if I'm still stuck, I'll manage to just kind of keep myself at most like on the side. And now you take your time, you go over there, you push, you just take your time. But who's on bottom, guys, just try recover guard. And who's on top, manage to fit inside of like inside his knee and his elbow. You don't want to be above his elbow because he's going to your back. And you don't want to be below his knee because you'll be inside his guard. So like, just make sure this. So if I go over here, he pulls. I don't want to be above his elbow because he can go to my back now. So I have to make sure I get right inside of like so as soon as he goes, right inside. And it's not that hard, but you have to really kind of push yourself in and don't let your leg behind. Your leg has to get inside that too. One more time. So he goes, as soon as your leg needs to kind of get in that gap. And that happens a lot. that happen a lot. Like a mini transition, you go to the person's back, and then he gives up top position, and then maybe you end up inside his close guard. So just manage, like, let me just keep passing. Let me just keep like wiggling, getting inside of like his side control and not his guard. Who's on board, guys? Who's on board doesn't have to do much. Just sit and start to kind of like try to recover something. Who's on top knows what to do now. Let's go try, guys. Guys, just like a warm up. Someone is gonna jump and close guard on me. As he jump, I'm gonna push him down. Come back. I'm gonna push him down, but I'm not gonna let him control my arm. So I'm gonna push him down and just reach back. As I'm reaching back, he's just gonna invert on my leg. As he inverts on my leg, I'm gonna just again pull my leg really hard out. And just stay there. One more time. So he jump close guard. I'm pushing him down. At this, I'm pushing down, but I don't let him hold my arm. I cannot push him down and get my arm stuck. I'm pushing down and just reach over there. And just pull up. Anytime that he reach, any side that he reach, I'm gonna pull my arm again. I'm gonna pull my leg out. So I'm gonna push. And just take a big step. I don't know if everybody noticed, like if he goes on my right leg, as I'm pulling, I'm leaving my left leg in front. This is not my lead leg. So I just pull my lead leg because that's the one he went. So if he goes on my lead leg, I have to pull one more time so I can leave my lead leg in front. If this is not your lead leg, you don't want to stay there and have to do someone attack with the leg that you don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable to stop pass with this leg in front. So if he goes on my right one, I'm pushing. I have to pull one and pull twice. So now I have my lead legs. So now if he comes forward again, I'm ready to move. But I'm not ready to move forward if I don't have my lead leg in front. So he goes again. I'm pushing. If he goes on my left leg, I pull once and I'm ready to move forward again. I don't need to keep moving back and avoid him. If he comes forward and I have my lead leg in front, I just move forward too. But if I don't have my lead leg in front, I have to make sure like I do 2 steps. So let's do this, guys. Warm up. Thank you. Just warm up. Let's go.
I'm about to jump again.
Guys, same thing. Someone just jump close guard on you. You have to count it. Stay. You have to count your weight. You know what I mean? You cannot just go because he goes down, he hang on you. You cannot just fall with him. Like it's not because he jumped close guard on me that I want to go down to my knees. He jumped close guard on me, I'm stay up. I don't have to stand up because if I go on my knees, I don't have to stand up again. So if I can catch his weight, I'm pushing back and he goes there. As he goes on my knees, I'm not turning back to him. I don't wait till you get a hold. I'm just pull it out. This is not my lead leg. Stay invert. Stay invert, please. And then he stay invert. As he stay invert, I don't have to step forward now. I don't have to because maybe you don't feel comfortable. As he stay inverted, I'm keeping inverted and I'm gonna circle to his back. When I say circle to his back, like I don't have to pass his guard inverted. I don't have to stay here. All my pass doesn't have to be hips. I can go anytime he goes over there and start walk from the front and not from like the inverted position. I can just go around and then put myself most like in a common guard, right? So if he's inverted, instead of weight, I'm already gonna go like below his hip, below his most likely on his low back. I don't wait till he kind of like go down over here. So as he's inverted, as I'm going lower, you just start pushing and go to a seatbelt. With the seatbelt, I can go to the crucifix and finish, or I can just roll with the hooks and still finish. But I'll put the hooks first. One more time. The whole thing, please. So he jump, I'm pushing, I'm reaching. Sorry, Scott's here. So if you stay here, one more time. If the person has his grip through your neck, just so you guys don't have a problem, can you invert again, please? As I'm going here, guys, it's not inverted, I'm sorry. Like here. If I'm gonna push, guys, I'm not planning to push it straight against his neck. I don't push like straight. But at the same time, as I'm pushing, he put his head one side. So he put the head on one side, other side. So he has to choose, you know what I mean? If you just stay there and the other person, if you're not flexible, I'm trying to say, if you're not flexible, the other person push, take your head out of the way. Because if you keep your head stuck there, like, you're gonna roll back over your neck. You don't want that. So make sure, like, when the other person push, when the other person comes low and push, I'm push with my shoulder, I'm push with my chest, take your head out of the way. Move your head to the side. Just don't leave your head like straight because you're gonna roll over your neck. Move to the side. And then obviously, when you go to the side, you're rolling over your shoulder, not rolling over your neck. Guys, one thing that I feel like a lot of people miss, and I'm not saying just in jiu-jitsu, like everywhere, it's just like awareness, you know what I mean? Something is gonna fall close to you, something is gonna go towards you, you just gotta have awareness. Like a bicycle almost hit you, some people doesn't even flinch, they don't see the bicycle almost hit them, you know what I mean? So we have to have like awareness, like no matter what, especially in a fight when someone try to fight you, you know what I mean? Someone try to knock you down, you know what I mean? You better have awareness what the other person's trying to do to you. And the same thing over here, you know what I mean? If I do this, I make a grip on his ankle, he immediately needs to know like I'm not trying to pass his guard. You know what I mean? Someone grab your foot like this, like you need to know they probably is about to attack your foot. You know what I mean? Sometimes they can do this, they can do that. Like each one's we're gonna show me something. And then the one is like, yeah, I know he can pass my guard, but now maybe he's changed like the direction. And this, I feel like anytime someone can just pull my ankle. Anytime someone can just throw my ankle over there. But once someone go low over here, I immediately already kind of expect him to just go toe hold on my ankle. And that toe hold can be like just kind of nasty. If the other person is strong, they can just kind of like just rip. Or they can be just smooth and someone that kind of quick and fast on their feet, they can just kind of dive and just start crank from there. And then if you don't have that rotation, if you're not flexible, your foot already is gonna start to like just feel not good, you know what I mean? So the point is, stand up, Scott. So if you end up on your back, maybe because you just recover guard, maybe because you don't want, but then you end up over here and someone just make a grip on your ankle. First thing you're gonna do is just one kick. As soon as he turns, just like one kick and just get him off. If you see that coming, sometimes you just kind of, you're tired. You just went through like a tough moment and you try to recover, try to defend. You don't see really that come quick. So as soon as he touches that, you just try immediately just kick him out. That'll be the first reaction from me, you know? So I go in there, he grabs, as soon as he grabs, just kick. And I'll kick like towards him. I'm not really aiming like on his hip. I'm not really aiming like on his armpit. I'm just going towards him. Just kind of like I'm not really kick, but I'm really pushing hard. You cannot just kick because the kick also doesn't get him off. I need to really push him away from me. So if he goes there, first thing I'm gonna do is just kick, get him off. And if I prefer, I'll sit up immediately just to make sure my feet is kind of contained and defending. But if you get to the point, I didn't really see that coming. And as soon as I see he starts like a roll, you know, I'll go with him. If the person's already diving, falling, that's kind of the sense that we gotta have. Like, he's not just holding anymore, he's already going under, he's already kind of start cranking. As soon as the other person start going down, the first thing you're gonna do, like, just follow him, grab him, connect to him, just to make sure that he doesn't have that much like movement with my ankle. I just stay really close to him. So he goes over there. As soon as he start falling, I'm sorry, Scott, take a step. Go there. As soon as he start falling, I'll sit up. He's gonna start rolling. I'll grab his shoulder. As soon as I grab his shoulder or his armpit, anything, now, stay strong. Now, keep locking. Now I can start walking like, kind of extending my leg and pull him away from my ankle. And I pull him towards me, but I'm pushing my foot away from him. That'll be like this. the next thing. So he goes there. I'm connecting him. Can you go a little under? So he's already under. So I keep getting close. This foot over here, I want to take this foot away from him. I want to take this foot away. I want to kick this out. But I don't want to let him go. If I just kick him out and he's kick, we just stop on the zero. The plus when someone will try to hold and kind of sneak and surprise you is that like if you catch him, if you caught him, now you have the back. Now you have the control. If you didn't spin, if you don't get your ankle crank, if you decide like, okay, I know where he's going, so I'm just connecting him. So he goes there. I start going over there. I'm gonna kick, but putting my foot, I will extend, putting my foot like as a hook. And I start really working to get the back more. Even if I don't have the hook yet, but I will get like my seatbelt first. And sometimes, because his hand was underneath, sometimes he doesn't have a chance to recover, you can go straight to the choke. If you got his back, your foot is stuck in, your foot is no more like getting crank, you can just go straight to the choke from there. Who's on top, guys? Who's on top? Just show the other person. Just show the other person you're gonna die. Just so he kind of knows where to grab. Who's on top? Just don't just roll with the toe yet. Who's on top? Just show that and start rolling. Then who's on bottom? Figure out where you need to grab him to make sure you get it to his back first. But let's try the first one too. Don't forget about the first one. When someone grabs this, just push him. It's just easy. Just like not complicated. Let's have that reflex. If someone grabs him, just turn it. Just kick him out from there. Let's go back, guys. All right, guys. That type of reaction is just very common. Like every time someone like dive underneath, someone just try go underneath you, you climb on the back. You don't wait till they go under. You don't let they kind of like roll underneath and just surprise you. So every time you have a chance to climb someone's back, their back goes on the mat, you have to keep kind of crawling to get his back like close to you. So it's always like a good reaction. But if you get to the point that he grabbed. As soon as he grabbed, he's already rolled. And as soon as he rolled, I wasn't aware where he went. He just kind of went, and then I end up most like this. You know what I mean? Probably if someone that's strong and someone that's quick, you probably already got your foot kind of good crank. You know, maybe your foot already popped once in this point because he used the moment on his weight to kind of crank, and you don't have a chance to kind of roll out of that. You don't have a chance to kind of start roll out of it. He just went complete opposite, and you still kind of not back now. So I hope that doesn't happen. If it happens, like you probably already just got like one crank, and then you already kind of get your toes really messed up over here. So my first thing I'm gonna do, even before I sit up, start really kind of kicking his arm. When I say kick his arm, like anything I can find over here, just kind of really kind of peel my arm like peel my ankle from his arm. Just kind of really pull it up. And then obviously, like, if you end up not coming out, you go there and just kind of really start kind of like take apart, you know what I mean? If you didn't tap yet, So that's the concern. So I want to go there, but if it doesn't happen and I didn't tap yet, so I'm still fighting to get out. But obviously, like, if you get a crank and you scream, probably the referee is going to stop and you lose. But if you don't tap, you didn't scream yet, you still can try to get out because probably your foot already cranked once, you know what I mean? So if it happens to hit roll and then end up over here, you know what I mean? First kick, anything I can find over here, not his face, If I find his arm, the first thing is just kind of, if you end up on top, that's even better, Maybe now we have a chance to kind of go after him. Let's go try once, guys.